We're breaking down another 17 dance practice, and this time it's to Getting Closer. This one's pretty iconic. Their energy level is insane here. The formations, the effects are really nice. So let's go break it down, and I got y'all. I like how they're just posing for the intro. Section starts is what sets the tone for the entire thing, because we see them posing at the very beginning, right? And it's very quiet. The music is kind of settling in until everything just abruptly starts. And when that starts, I like how there's effects that they use to match how abrupt the song actually starts, when it comes from being quiet to just having the song start right away. So this intro is probably my favorite from this entire practice, because I love how they set the tone specifically for this dance practice, or this dance in general. And then I don't know if you guys saw the da da da. It was just a nice simple effect where you could just match everyone to do these like downward movements to go match the way the music sounds. Center controls that effect by pushing down, while the rest of the members are doing like this downwards motion, so that pushing down motion is a lot bigger and a lot more highlighted. The movements are very sharp. You guys can see right there that little finger movement where everyone's gonna sway left and right, while center is also gonna do this almost kind of like a controlling effect, right? So they're gonna do this, and then while the rest of the members are gonna kind of follow what that is, so that way it looks like the person in center is actually controlling them. Like that diagonal formation. Look at all this energy, that ripple effect, insane. Nice. I actually want to go over when Vernon gets to center, and they just go even more full out when they just started to. We're not even in a minute of the entire practice yet, and they're already popping off. Nice double bass there. Love that ripple effect. The head banging adds to the chaoticness. And if you guys didn't notice, I didn't notice the first time. I actually had to watch this hella times, but I did not know Vernon was standing on two members. The effects that they use, and just like the way that they really match the song and how the energy level needs to be. Everyone is on the same page. And again, I don't think any of us are really surprised about the synchronization of 17 and how they can all be at the same page of what they need to do in terms of the details of the choreo. The head banging, all the formation changes that happen really quickly here. There's really quick formation changes that actually happen in this small section. That's one formation. Nice, another one. That was a sick effect with the head spinning. The bass hits. This section is also definitely one of my favorites. And I love that spin where they get into the floor. They literally just all jump at the same time, spin at the same time. Even the hands, the angle of the hands were all the same. But I actually want to go over when Woozy gets to center. I want to point out the strength in their arms in this specific section. When a group does a dance, a lot of the moves become really satisfying to watch because of the strength in their arms alone. And I want to point this out right here. So if you really pay attention to their arms, it's really controlled. And I want to point out that effect that they do here. This was a nice effect where everyone kind of, I'm going to pause it like right before it happens. You'll see that they're going to reach out towards their respective direction. And then, yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this expand effect that they're using. That spin into the bounce. Even everyone's bouncing at the same rate of speed. So I'm going to pause again, And I'm going to point out the bouncing when they end that spin or the jump spin into the floor. It's also very important that when you're going to do like a constant motion as a group, it's very important that everyone's going the same rate of speed. If you see someone bouncing like faster than the other member, you're going to notice. So here, everyone's at the same rate of the speed of the bounce. Ooh, and I need to point this out too, is columns with groups, with large groups, especially since 17 has 13 members. I love columns where it's just perfect lines. They're literally right behind each other, because you can easily tell when a line is off just by standing in front of them. You'll be able to tell someone's off like right away. But this one, it's like, damn, bro, like they got to the columns so seamlessly and everything is straight. Amazing. Ooh. Nice. Another ripple effect. Before we get into S-Coup's section, if we go here, this entire section here right after the columns, you'll notice that they kind of like essentially slow down. And this, again, I like to point out because you don't want to be overwhelmed by energy the entire way. It's essentially overstimulating. When you're watching choreography in general, I like to be taken through this route of storytelling. You got the intro, the rising action, climax, falling resolution, and whatever the ending is. So that way it gives us a sense of like, oh, that was really nice to watch because we were able to go like this versus like boom, like a straight line the entire way. So it's very important for groups in general to always have some sort of sections of having all this energy and then slowing it down and then bringing us back in. It's very important, because if that were to happen, we would just get so bored if there was always like a straight constant line of energy. Very, very important. So this is like the chillest part, I think. This is a cool rolling out effect. They're just popping off at this point. I love that. The head banging. I love how they commit to that. So 17 just has an advantage with formations. Because they have so many people, they have the advantage to have more formations. And they're an odd number of people, so you got 13, right? Because there's 13 members, it's easier to make the formations be symmetrical. When there's even numbers, it's a lot harder, and it's a lot harder to be creative. That's just me, in my opinion. It is much easier to make formations with an odd number of people. I want to point this part out specifically because I just think it's such a cool moment here. Everyone, again, we're kind of going back into receiving a lot of energy. They're trying to go full out again. Like, I really love this effect right here. It's so cool to me. And then you got the head spinning once again. And what I want to highlight about 17 in general is their seamless formation changes. Again, with the spin into the floor, love that. This elbow move that they're doing here, I want to point this out as well. This elbow move that they do here, it matches how heavy the bass actually is in the song. So they're hitting that very, I want to say very hard, but at the same time, it's not overdoing it. It's almost like it's the right amount of energy to hit those basses. And I don't know how to further clarify that because it really only, it feels right because you're watching it. Another formation change, man. I love this breakdown right here. That opening effect, okay? That opening effect that follows the falsetto of the song. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I don't know how many times you guys have watched the dance practice, but this opening effect where they follow the falsetto, great musicality and use of people within the formations. Nice. That was such a good reveal too. Yeah, and this is where they start popping off even more. I know I've been pausing a lot because it's just, there's so many details that 17 just has, and it's tough to just point out everything, but I'm trying to point out the most important ones for me and for you guys. So when they do this breakdown, you'll see that right here, where you have one window, like each line will be doing the choreo, but in opposite. So I think first line is probably going to be doing the original choreo. Second line is going to do it the other way around, so mirrored. And then the third line will be doing the original choreo, and then fourth line should be doing mirrored. This is a very common effect that dance teams use all the time, just to have like a really nice aesthetic to the actual choreo and just add more dynamics to the actual formation. It's very common that this happens. Nice ripple effect, explosion. Oh my gosh, this ripple effect to have him jump, bring everybody back in. Ooh, this is cool. This is very similar to the thing in the very beginning where he's doing this, right? He's doing this, I think, with the fingers. Same idea, same concept, except he's doing like a flicking wrist thing while the rest of the members are like flicking their legs up or their heels up. So this helps with this helps the person in center look much bigger, and it just has a nice effect to it because it's like, oh my god, he's controlling the members with his wrist. Love how strong the bass hits are. There's the other effect that I mentioned. It might be the angle for me, but I do like the effect that they went for, where you have when they did the groove here, where you start off, everyone's doing opposite basically. So you'll have the first line do the original choreo, and then while the other, like the rest of the lines will do opposite essentially. The only reason why this kind of throws me off, and it could be the camera angle, and it just might be because he has to sing the line, is he stops doing the choreo and he has to sing the line, which is completely fine because that's just the way that it works. But it only threw me off just because he wasn't doing the effect with them. So it might have taken the effect away just a tiny bit, and it could just be the camera angle too. Ooh, the breathing. I just love the strength in all of their arms. Amazing, amazing. Hold up. I actually have to go back to that last section. Just the breathing section, actually. It's so simple, but so effective. Crazy. Getting Closer is pretty iconic in terms of the energy level, the formations, and the effects. While it wasn't the most complicated dance practice in terms of formations, their energy level, the commitment to like the head banging, the head spins, the change of energy levels is insane to me. Like I said earlier, 17 does have an advantage over a lot of groups because they have more people, meaning that they can be creative with the formations, but that's also risky. I believe it's a little bit more risky just because now they do have, it's because they have a lot of people, meaning that people expect more out of them. People expect more formations, more effects, because they have that many people. Always props to 17 because I love watching them dance. It makes me happy to break down their practices all the time because it really inspires me as a dancer, and it's just nice to watch. And I love pointing out some details for you guys because I think if you're not a dancer and I could point out these details for you guys, I think it's cool, to be honest. So if y'all love 17, if you're a carrot, subscribe. I will be breaking down more dance practices soon. Peace out.